Hey Tool Nuts, I'm Doug with toolnut.com. Today we're going to be going over the new Milwaukee M18 Hatchet 8-inch pruning saw. So, very exciting. Previous to this, Milwaukee put out the M12 6-inch hatchet pruning saw. Everyone was asking for the 18-volt version, and Milwaukee responded. They also added another 2 inches to the blade, which can never go wrong with an extra 2 inches, right? So super lightweight. It's just over 7 pounds. This will take any of the M18 batteries on the line. Obviously, the bigger the amp hour battery, a little bit heavier the back of the saw will be, you know, on this. I don't know, I've been using the 3 amp hour or the 5. You go up 8 or 12, you'll get a longer run time, but the balance will be off slightly. It'll be a little bit back heavy on that. So it does come with the blade cover scabbard, and on this one they did lock it in because this one they also put a retaining ring, figuring more people are going to be climbing with this possibly when using it. The M12 didn't have that on it, so this does cover and lock in better. It also does cover the spikes too, so you're not going to be getting your fingers. Here is your oil reservoir. It will take any type of bar lubricant on the market. Always want to make sure that will lengthen, keep your blade a little bit sharper, keep the heat down slightly, and lubricate the cut. With that, it is automatic. A lot of times, I like to also point out, with that said, because we get phone calls all the time, and it happens with all the brands, so it's not just Milwaukee, it's any chainsaw, gas, electric, or battery powered. These leak sometimes, all right? They'll leach oil, especially in hotter conditions. If you leave them out in a garage or a shed, especially during the summer, it's in direct sunlight. If you leave it laying like this, reservoir is going that way, the automatic oiler is down here, it's gonna leak out. Sometimes you'll come out and there's gonna be a big puddle of oil. It happens. A lot of times when I store mine, either I'm not filling it all the way and I fill it as I go, so there's not a lot left in there, so when I put it away I'm not using it. A lot of times though, I will store it this way. So all the oil is down and the oiler is facing up, and generally it doesn't leach out. So this is a safety here. I'll just power this up real quick. Safety button there. If you pull this now, it's not going to operate. And you have that on both sides, depending which lefty or righty, how you're going to use that. With that, you also have a nice hand guard here, so you're not slipping if you're holding it. You know, I like that Milwaukee did that. Hand's not going to slip and go on the blade. This is brand specific to Milwaukee, the bar and the chain. We do sell those also separately at toolnut.com. You are getting the bar and chain though with it, as well as the scabbard. This is only available as a bare tool, meaning you're not going to get a battery and you're not going to get a charger with it, so you'd have to already be part of the Milwaukee M18 line. So I mentioned the climbing before. You have a retainer ring here to tie off to something, so if you're climbing, you drop it accidentally, or it's hanging while you're climbing, it's not going to go anywhere or hit someone, or you could lower it to the ground. This is going to be your onboard tool for tensioning, removing the bar and chain. You have that there. You can also, you can see here, a little loose. So this, you can tighten or loosen the chain. Here I'm loosening it. You can see it got a lot looser there. And then as I turn it slightly, you can see it's getting tighter. You always want to check this after about 10 to 15 minutes of use on a new chain, because it will stretch out a little bit. And you're going to want to loosen that first, tension it, retension it, and then tighten it back up. Make sure you put it back in your storage. The other big thing with this is always making sure this is clean and clear. Sometimes cutting down next to the ground, you might get dirt in there, larger chunks of wood, possibly even some rocks. We've seen it where people have called in, especially with the M12, they're pulling the trigger, they hear a beeping noise. The chain is not moving. The few times they've called in, there was debris stuck in there. You got to make sure you clean that out. You can use the tool or just take this apart, the cover comes off, and you can clean out everything in there. This also does have overload protection. So sometimes if you're in the middle of a cut, you're pushing it too hard, or you pinch it or twist it and it's not straight, it's going to stop. Just cycle off the trigger and then relieve some of the pressure, cycle back on the trigger, and it will start cutting again. All right, that's to protect so you don't load the motor. But this is brushless. Most of the tools now coming out from everyone are brushless. With Milwaukee, it's called Fuel. It will lengthen the runtime, keeps the motor cooler, which then lengthens your runtime on that. One last thing here, it's pretty cool. It did like a little keyhole here. That's so you could hang it on a screw or a nail, in a shed or garage, or wherever you have it and want to hang it. So for this and any of the other specs that I possibly didn't cover, check it out now at toolnut.com.